What's going on, boys and girls? Today we are going to talk about a fragrance from the House of Mind Games, another popular name out there, but I know y'all want to see SB break it down to the molecule. Strap up, we're going for that ride. All right, welcome to the scent bubble. I'm your host for the evening. Well, we're getting there, as you can see. Today from the House of Mind Games, we have Double Attack. This is a unisex fragrance. So far, I haven't seen any men's or women's exclusively yet, though we've got a long way to go. This is a 2022 release. Unisex 3.97, so we'll round that up to 4 out of 5. Definitely a get your nose on it. Seems like it has about half to a third of the votes of the other ones we've tried so far, but nonetheless, it's classified as a warm, spicy chocolate vanilla. Without further ado, let's get straight to business. I'm really happy, and by the way, shout outs to Shan for supplying the samples. I'm really happy to be actually going through the full set here. I know we've done some Mind Games fragrances in the past, but there's a lot of them out there. And I know what you guys do. You look at the popular ones, you get interested in them, and as you kind of learn about them, if you eventually don't wind up picking them up, you kind of scurry around and find that, man, there's like over 20, 25 cents from this house, and you start to get intrigued by the whole thing to see, you know, is there anything no one's talking about and all that. So I'm glad to really be able to do a deep dive on this. Again, shout out to Shan. Oh, interesting. So it's pretty synonymous between the strip and the hand here, but obviously, it feels a little bit more airy and fresh off the test strip, but I'm very surprised by this because, you know, warm chocolate, spicy vanilla, you think you're going gourmand, you think you're going heavy. This is heavy. It's a middle weight, surprisingly, but there's this clean aromatic freshness that feels like, I don't know, it's it's almost like a Swedish leather, clean, ozonic kind of feel. That's like blanket hugging a very soft, spicy, very warm, thick kind of smell. It's almost like a vanilla that's like 2 out of 10. It's almost barely even sweet, but you get the flavor palette of a kind of vanilla chocolatey vibe. Very soft, sweet, so the spice ain't spicing too hard, but then blanketed around that is this kind of like almost Swedish, new car smellish aromaticness, but it's still warm and sweet and intimate. It's just got a different kind of lift to this. This would be a scent I could see being very signature, but I think the wearer would have a really hard time trying to figure out the use case for this, because obviously, you know, you look at it and it's fall, winter leaning, but this is like an occasion-based fragrance. Is there any like, I wonder if there's any like pepper or any, okay, there we go. So bitter orange, pimento pepper up top, cinnamon, agave, geranium, dark chocolate, vanilla, sandalwood, bourbon, vetiver. Okay, so imagine if like the vanilla, you know, when you get chocolate and you can get like the cacao and it'll say the percentage of how much milk chocolate's in it versus cacao. So it'll say like, you know, either dark chocolate or milk chocolate, but it'll say like 50%, 80%, blackout, which is basically like pure cocoa, no sweetness or sugar added. This feels like 80% at least chocolate. Like, I'm talking about the concentration. So when you're dealing with cacao and like vanilla bean or whatever, you get a lot of robust, rich, kind of velvety, silky flavor, but not necessarily the sweetness. That's what I'm getting here. More of a sugar-free flavor palette experience where it's just very velvety, but it's like maybe at best a 3 out of 10 sweetness. And it's mostly that chocolate, cinnamon, vanilla texture. The cinnamon ain't cinnamon too hard. What I mostly get around it is this pimento pink pepper agave thing. and it's almost like a drier sheet aromatic over it, but it's not like bright, zesty, citrusy kind of drier sheet. It's more of like that ozonic kind of new car smell, clean car interior finish over the top of this, which is making it like extremely unique. I imagine this easily goes 6 hour plus and would be quite a sillage scent. But again, surprisingly, looking at this comparatively, you think it's going to be this big gourmand scent, and it's not really. Price wise, guys, you see the prices sitting around the 300 plus mark. I'm sure you can get this around the 250 mark. In fact, I'm certain of that if you just keep your eyes open. I could see why this got less votes and less people, interested in it, because it is nice, but it's definitely highly signature. But figuring out the use case for this is very much a more sophisticated, head-scratching, librarian, sophisticated cigar smoker type of scent. The best thing I can do here is kind of, and again, big sillage here apparently, moderate to long-lasting, so at least 6 hours plus. This very much, yeah, see the Philosophia reference here. It's almost like a sugar-free Philosophia. Let me just say this. Let's zoom out a little bit. So let me help you wrap your mind around what this smells like, because it's very unique. This is like almost like I'm just gonna name some wheelhouses, and some of them I'm referencing based off the smell, and some of them I'm referencing based off the texture. So Philosophia is definitely one of them, almost like a sugar-free Philosophia. I also get a little bit of effing fabulous in terms of the suede-like quality. I'm also getting Club de Nuit Intense Woman, the black bottle, kind of that Noir de Noir, but almost like a spiceless Noir de Noir, or like an original Noir Tom Fordish. That fragrance is way better than this, but this is definitely, unique. Yeah, it almost even like a Bentley Bulgari Man in Black, Prada Black, that kind of, there's a very like almost dominatrixy black vinyl-ish, that kind of texture feel to this, but it's more of a soft, airy, ozonic, almost flower petalish thing. And then the smell gets fainter on skin. Yeah, it actually like has diminishing returns over time because it kind of falls apart. It feels very robust. Then it feels more middle. It feels middle to heavyweight. Then on the dry down, it's middleweight. Then at the point of this, which is like, I think we're close to 10 minutes in, it's quite soft on my skin. So it's kind of confusing as to the use case for this. I think it's going to be fall, winter, anything sophisticated, anything nose up in the air, classy, wine testing, theater, stuff like that. I don't really think it's very much dinnerly, because typically with a dinner scent, I either go like super masculine, classy, or I like to go intimate, romantic, sweet. And this kind of just oddly sits in the middle. I don't really like fall, winter scents that do this, because even if you took a fragrance like Unicorn, for instance, from Aaron Terrence Hughes, this kind of almost effing fabulous / Dior Homme Intense, Dior Homme Parfum kind of feel, even though it's equally masculine and equally intimate feminine, and it comes together, you don't feel like they glue in, create something new. Like in Unicorn and even in Dior Homme Parfum, you get the masculine guts of it, and you get the sweet intimacy as separate things just combined together, but they don't lose themselves in the combination. All of those ideas blend into this odd thing. It's almost as if you took crayons and colored over each other with every color, and you think you're going to get something great. If they're separate, they make a rainbow. It's very beautiful. But if they join and they're on top of each other, it kind of just browns and blacks out, and it's ugly. That's what I feel this is kind of doing. Again, it's not a nasty smell or anything. It just smells extremely confused, but it's definitely signature scent worthy if you do like this. It's extremely cocoa forward for sure. Let me look at some of the notes to see what else I need to be telling you. We went over price, alternatives. Yeah, I mean, I think great, more sure of themselves, clear to understand alternatives to this would be Effing Fabulous Tom Ford, Prada Black, Bulgari Man in Black, Tom Ford Noir, Noir Extreme, Noir De Noir, Club de Nuit Intense Woman even is better than this to me. I know that's saying a lot. That sounds crazy, but it's true. As a scent, I give this a 7. And the reason why I give it a 7, I don't say it's just all the way bad, is because the composition is very well balanced. I just don't know if these notes go together because it's more of a head scratchy, unique type of scent. There's nothing glaringly bad about it. It just doesn't feel sure of itself, but I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt and calling it an average score because I think to somebody who's comfortable with this, it could probably be their like 8 out of 10 signature that they pop out with every once in a blue moon. And the scent just feels too high quality and good to call it bad. So I'm going to call it an average artistic attempt. And yeah, again, this was Double Attack. Definitely not the best crayon in the box from Mind Games, but definitely worthy of getting your nose on it. Just even in terms of sometimes smelling something like this will launch pad you into something else that if you hadn't got your nose on this, you wouldn't have been ready for another scent. So definitely try Double Attack. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on that notification bell. Talk to me. I do talk back. If you're new here, we discuss all things, across the board. Cheapies, rack store, designer niche, independent niche, all the good verbiage. We cover it all. And I try to cover stuff for all ages. This year, we're starting to get into more women's scents as well, trying to include my ladies, give them a men's perspective on women's scents. And so that should be fun as well. But we try to cover everything under the sun. I know I review a lot of fragrances. You can call me a fragrance reviewer. I don't care what you guys call me, I let the people decide. But in my eyes, I'm just documenting my journey through my own, journey of scents. And I feel that if I don't talk about it, I'm wasting an opportunity to bring you guys valuable, helpful information because you can't get your hands on everything like me. So, I want to bring value to the community. Again, hope you guys have a blessed rest of your week. And until next time, stay blessed. Peace.